Today guys, I'm going to show you how to properly terminate a Cat6, Cat5 Keystone. This will be a universal video and it will show you how to properly terminate one of these Keystones. These are pretty cool. You could add a jack to your house anywhere. These have face plates just like your electrical outlets. You could have a single, a dual, quad, or even up to 8 of these Keystones in one panel. I'm going to go over some of the tools. We have your termination tool. It's a Fluke Networks D914S. This is your regular RJ45 crimping tool. And this is a little game changer for me. You can't tell how many times where I have tried to terminate Keystone and going to impact. I'm holding it like this, trying to impact, trying to terminate, and this little blade slips, or I'm trying to impact. Sometimes I've had some of these break off and it slips, and I don't know, you can see that scar right here. So what I like to do, this snaps right in here and I can hold it in my hand. Sometimes when you're in the field, you don't have a lot of length of cable to play with, so this could be up against a wall, or you can't put it in an ideal location where you could clearly impact. With this way, you could hold it however you want, comfort of the palm of your hand, and it has enough area here where if this part slips, it'll catch on this side and not in your hand. A lot of people, what they do is there's a ripcord inside here, and they'll use a ripcord to cut this sheathing off. But then I don't like how uneven this comes out. So on this side of the crimping tool, we have one area where the blade hits this straight part and can cut the cable. And then we have one area right here where there's a little bit of a space. So with that little bit of a space, we could strip the outside layer of the cable. So we just squeeze. And I've been doing this a long time, so I know exactly how much to cut. Sometimes people will say to use a ripcord, and as you can see with this focus, I only cut through the outer jacket. So this is the ripcord they're talking about. The ripcord, you could just pull that off. There's two ways to terminate. There's a 568A and there's a 568B. So on the bottom we have the B, on the top we have the A. So it all needs to coordinate with your patch panel. Or if you have another one of these on the other end, they both have to be coordinated. You can't have one end terminated in B and another end terminated in A. The pairs won't match up and you won't get proper communication. So on this side you could see A is the same, B is the same, and this side it's flipped. So we got on the A side we got green up top, orange on the bottom. Over here we have orange up top, green on the bottom. Up top meaning when I like to terminate, I like to hold it like this. So let's go ahead and untwist these pairs. When you're dealing in very sensitive locations, data centers, server rooms, anywhere where you're running even long cables, these twists, they all have to stay close together. So you can't untwist this and have a long untwisted length and then terminate it. You want to try to keep these twists as close together. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll untwist two sides. I like doing it this way because it keeps everything tight. So we have our brown and our brown white, and you can see up top we have brown and then brown white. So we could just hold it like this, and I like to have the jacket as close as inside to this. You'll have some keystones that have two holes on the bottom, and you could have a small wire tie come in and wire tie and keep everything tight. This one doesn't. This one snaps into a faceplate, but you have other ones where they might go into a surface mount box, and you want to keep this wire might get tugged, and you want to keep it tight with a keystone. You could put a wire tie right there. So I like just gently using my nails, pressing it in a little bit. So you see we have the brown, brown, white, brown, brown, white. Next we have the blue and then blue, white. It'll be nice to have some fingernails. And then we'll do the same on this side. So this side, remember the B, we got the orange on the top and the green on the bottom. So we'll move the green out the way. Let's untwist this orange. And remember, we got the solid on the top and then white on the bottom. And again with the green, solid green on the top. And then white on the bottom. So as you can see, I gently press them into a location, so it's not contacting all the way. There's a little piece of metal that sort of cuts into the cable, and it creates the connection. So then that pin inside here coordinates with the pins inside here. So let's go ahead and place it in here. It snaps right in. And there's even a little place for the cable. So with this impact tool, we have a low impact and a high impact. I always impact on high, and there's a blade release. So this blade safely gets tucked in. It's always in there, doesn't fall out, so you won't lose it. So this end is your 110 end, and this end is for a 66 block. 66 blocks are normally used for alarm panels, telephone panels, POTS lines when they come into a building. And this end is the end we'll use for a keystone. What's cool is, you know, it says cut right here. So this always twists into the cut end on the top. You always want to cut to the outside, because this will cut the wire. You don't want the wire to cut here. If you cut it on the inside like this, then you won't have a connection. So the first two I'm going to do in my hand, and I like to double tap just to ensure. And if you see this is perpendicular, I like to put it at a little bit of an angle, a little degree like this, so the wire on my second impact, it'll cut right off. So I'll show you guys my first. So it already connected, and now I want to impact. So on the first one, it already cut off, and I just like to do a second one just for good measure. So again, at an angle, and one more time for this one. So now you can see the wire is all the way down there and it's connected. I really don't like the plastic tools they give you because you have to press them in and then you have to come and cut this side with the scissor. And you could never get it close to cut as you can with the impact tool. This impact tool is a little fancy. Actually comes with one of these wire pickers. So let's say you get one of these pairs messed up or switched and you realize after the fact you could just go in, grab one of the pairs and pull it right out. Now I'm going to try to get you a close-up on the angle so you could see a little better. Notice a lot of videos, they really don't show you the impact. Let's try to get one with this side. And sometimes even if it doesn't cut off, you'll see that it's already cut, and then you could just lightly twist it around and pops right off. This is just because I'm at an awkward angle behind the camera. And then this pops off. We can just press it from here. Pops right out. And you saw how much force it took. If you're holding it like this, trust me, I've cut into this thumb and this finger so many times. I must have terminated over maybe 10,000 connections, and it's just that one time or a couple of times where it slips and you catch yourself. You don't want to do that. That's why when I got one of these, it's a time saver. You can hold it in your palm. You could hold it on the wall. In some cases, some new construction, you know, you don't want to punch through the wall. You have this to sort of as a safety net. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've seen a lot of videos that didn't really show you the right way, or they showed you the scissor method. I don't like it. I like how clean this is. And then they usually give you some dust caps, so you get these two caps and then pop them right into place. Well, there you go guys. I hope you liked this video.